The Dove Network welcomes you to the following presentation of Double Dropkick Podcast.
It's Tuesday night. Dropkick night. Right here on the Dab Network. Welcome in. Woo, whatever you're drinking tonight. Hope it tastes splendid. A little bit of coffee for me tonight, the Double Drop Kick mug. Excited to be with each and every one of you. Oh boy, did we hit a milestone. Woo! Very big milestone. So appreciative. We'll get into that later. We got a full show tonight. Full show. We got a great guest. The Berg Blog. From YouTube, the review page. Hobby guy. We've also got some hobby drama going on. The belt post getting taken down. You know what they say, you F around, you find out. We've also got the belt bar. DDK belt bar for sale. Belt of the week. We got Tony Khan's stupid statements. Little Netflix talk. A lot of people unhappy. Don't know what they expected from Netflix. Talk a little bit about that. Talk about the Raw on it. What you guys thought. We'll also talk about the C4 that was given to Hogan and the people that seem to need some tissue for that. Don't understand what's going on there. But welcome in to this full episode of Right There, Double Dropkick Podcast. Make sure you subscribe today. Make sure you comment today because you are this show. You are a part of the show, and each and every time you comment, you are adding to the show, to this community. And we welcome each and every one of you in tonight. It's going to be a great night. But hey, first off, I want you guys to make sure that you hit me up on, I got the little promo up here, on Instagram. Everybody seems to be jumping on the Instagram a little bit more with the stuff over the Twitter. So, hey, this is my Instagram, Double Dropkick Podcast. Hit it over there. I give away stuff on Instagram as well as on X/Twitter. So hit me up, go over there, follow me on Instagram. And also follow me on Twitter/X. It is DDK Podcast on X, DDK Podcast on X. Make sure you go over there and check it out. Hey, check all the cool reviews that we've got, off the rope title reviews that we've got on here. Different kind of review. We take a different kind of view of the belt, top down approach. We don't look about who it made, blah, 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 blah. It's all about the etching, the artwork, the detail, the plates, the leather, all of that. We go into it and we just do a really detailed view of the belt. They're about 20 minutes long because we really zoom in on the belt and get a very good look at it. Hey, you also got to check out the finest belt maker around for the Crumrine. Why? Because they are Crumrine. They're a partnership with Crumrine, the only ones to do so, the only ones ever to do so. Their Crumrine belt, or their Big Gold, whichever you prefer to call it, has actual cast pieces of the original. Yes, that's right. Of the original, the wrestlers and the stoneholders are actual cast from the original, and it was given to them to make. And the brother of the original, the Ortiz family, is doing the silversmithing and heading up over that. C4 authentic belts, the only ones partnered with Crumrine to get your C4 Ortiz Crumrine Big Gold. You got to check them out over on Facebook. And more importantly, to find out all about pricing and this, that, and the other. Colin's a great guy over there. Got to hit him up. C4authenticbelts.com. C4authenticbelts.com. Hit him up. Taking you back to like it's 1986. Pretty cool guys over there. You got to check out what they're doing on over there. It's just cool how he's taken it to a whole new level. And I'm proud to know him. I'm proud to be a part of helping with his group. So it's pretty cool. As you guys know, it's been a very eventful week in the hobby. But first, we got to let everybody know we're going live, right?
He gave us a signal.
So that's right. Let everybody know. Hey, DDK is live. Get on here. Be a part of the show. Do it upright. You know, I'm KEVK. And my partner in crime, Mr. Ethan Thompson. What's up, buddy?
You know, I was sitting here and I'm just playing over things, listening to the intros and stuff like that. You know who we need to get an intro because it works perfectly?
Who's that?
The road dog, Jesse James. Because you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Double D Dropkick Podcast proudly brings to you dude, it works.
Right?
Imagine Jesse James, it works.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I've put in. I keep having to hit Ricky to do his and get that one done. But I mean, we've got a former president that's told you to subscribe to Double Dropkick. What more do you need, right?
Do you need any more? Just
no. Take it from the president himself. Here he is. He's going to soon be president. Here he is.
Hello, this is Donald Trump. Make sure you subscribe to Double Dropkick Podcast. Kevin is doing a great job, a tremendous job, actually. So subscribe and tune in each week and be a part of the show.
Not trying to be political. Former president, celebrity, endorsed. That's pretty.
It's just going to be
cool.
Huge.
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge.
Oh yeah.
It's huge. So what's been going on with you, man?
Working, grinding, doing a whole bit again.
Boy, a lot.
Carnivore thing.
Yeah. Have you got that 3D printer set up yet?
Nah, it's not. It's on the things to do list.
How many days off did you have? How many days off did you have for your?
I had a lot of days off, and then what happens is January 1st comes around, my vacation reloads, so I got a lot more days off I can take too.
You need to take some and set that up because I need some things. I need some stuff.
Truth be told, I just need to go get a table because it's big. It's the big platform's it's like 16 inches.
I've always thought that would sell on the hobby is for wrestling figures. Not the actual stands that sit them flat, but a 3D printer that has levels to it, like one's this high and then one's this and then one's
like
that.
On a mountain or something.
Pyramid, yeah. And you got several wrestlers standing on there in a grouping or a faction, like the 4 horsemen all on one, but they're different levels of the pyramid standing. That'd be killer.
I guess after last night we wouldn't have Hulk Hogan on top.
Oh man, these people. I don't know. I don't know why people everybody liked him when he was. If you don't like somebody for their political views, that's another dumb reason to just hate on somebody. And then people go
happened in Florida or something.
Well, I mean, he's Hogan. He's not out there doing other stuff. So stop with that and just stop hating on. Everybody hated on him even before they found out his political affiliation. But people said, well, nobody hated on the Undertaker when he went out and he supports, he supported Trump. He's not as forward with it, but also, you think Californians are bright enough to remember that? I mean, they're not really. I mean, you guys poop on the street,
Well, okay. To be fair, that's only the Bay Area. The Central Valley is actually very conservative. If you look on the map of the voting. The Central Valley in Northern California is very conservative. The problem is San Jose and Los Angeles, take up 20 million people.
I just like common sense. I don't care which side of your aisle is. Get along. Don't poop in the street. I think we can all agree to that. And if you do bad, you should be dealt with. But anyway, not going to get involved in all that mess. We had one with, we had a video, an endorsement from Joe Biden, but he forgot it was for Double Dropkick and I got messed up. So we had that. Come on, that was funny. That was funny.
I get the ice cream.
Anyway, hey guys, you got to subscribe. You got to like, you got to share. So right now, scroll on down, give a thumbs up on it. Hit it right now. I'm going to watch it. Make sure every one of you guys in comments do it. Hit that thumbs up. And then comment and be a part of the show each and every week because I'm so appreciative to each and every one of you that come in here. I'm so thankful that you guys have pushed this into being a great podcast. In less than 6 months, we hit over 1,000 subscribers since our last show. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah!
I mean, that deserves a thank you for each one of you.
Hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
You guys are awesome. And before we bring on our guest, because I believe the helicopter's landed with our guest. There he is. He's bringing him into the DK studios right now. So we'll get all the makeup on him. He has got the sexiest beard to make Richard Ward cry and Ethan Thompson cry. So we'll see him. He's going to get all the beard oil on there.
Have we ever planned a contingency plan if that helicopter happens to crash one day?
No, we just all get up and run.
But,
That's what we do. Ain't my copter.
Yeah.
Ain't my copter. But it'll never crash because we got the best pilots in the world. Tom Cruise is flying it. I mean, he's in Top Gun. That's where you had to hire him. He's Top Gun.
Thank God Goose ain't flying it.
Oh man. Oh man, that was.
Kobe.
Oh, bro, that's terrible. That is terrible.
Hey,
yo, what's up, Richard?
I was fully one of those people that was totally willing to sign a petition.
What's up, Chris?
To get LeBron James a helicopter service.
What's going on? Hey, they're not for sale. Hey, Jerry, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing good. Good to see you guys. What's going on, Chris? How's it going? Gamer. Let me tell you what, brothers. Action-packed 2 hours going to be bang. Yes, it is. The Drop Kick-A-Maniacs. Oh, I like that. Drop Kick-A-Maniacs running wild. That's right, baby. Throw it up. Throw those emojis up in there. Give a comment down below. Say hello, everybody in there. What's going on, everybody? Hey, James. Good evening, buddy. Looking good in the car, driving, and a nice day. Good picture. Hey, Miss Mendoza. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Andy B with the guys over at Spanning the Globe podcast. We'll talk about them just a little bit and what they got coming up. Need some popcorn. Hey, it's on tap. Beer's on tap. Go right on up to the DDK bar and get everything you want. It's on me. Hey, Max, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Got a watchers from New Zealand, Australia, UK, Pakistan, India, Canada. We got Brazil in the house today. Hello. Of course, the United States all over. Scrolling down one of the others. And everybody else, we wish you, and thanks if you're watching this tomorrow, like a lot of people do to get through their worst day. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in and joining. You can also be a part of the show too. I reply to each and every one of you guys' comments, feedback, what you like to see, what you don't like to see. Hey, what's up going on there, Smith? What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're rowdy and roddy to go. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. As thanks to you guys. No, it didn't have any lagging from what that I saw. I think they did pretty good. They've had years to get it right.
Did you guys get commercials?
You're supposed to. I mean, that's on the movies and stuff you watch, not on live events. It's always been non-live events. I mean, it says it in their things. That's why I don't know why people cried about it.
Yeah, no, but my buddy was like, I didn't get commercials.
You swearing in the comments there, Mendoza. Thanks. What's up, bonkers? What's going on?
Yeah, my buddy at work didn't get commercials. He was like, it just went straight through.
So what?
I'm like, my buddy didn't get commercials at work.
Did he watch it afterwards?
No, he watched the live show.
They said you were supposed to get commercials.
He's like, but I do run a VPN, so
it just blocked it all out. Hey, we thank you so very much, Stone Cold. Hey, did your belt come in yet, or the snow still got it all delayed? Also, one thing went out to Canada. Canada is on a postal strike, so nothing was. They're not even taking it at the mail here. They said, nope, they're on a postal strike. We're not even taking anything to ship it. And they're going to be backlogged for a couple weeks. And when they come by each day, they said it's probably another week backlog. So you guys in Canada, get to your post office and sort your own mail, I guess. But that's a big issue there. But we only had one winner there, Vincent. He understands and he'll be patient. Mendoza, the show goes bad. We're doing a Hogan. You can if you like. What's up, Ben? Ben Walker for CBC. Chris and dude, hey, there's keeping it simple, man. What's up, Michael B. Jones? Looking good with
Michael Jones. How much did you cream last night when Hogan came on stage? Did you throw it up in the comments, bro?
No, that's my line. DDK, they're here to stay. That's right, baby. We're going to keep on going, and when I'm gone, this man over here will take it over, and hopefully, keep going and keep the legacy going.
We'll just say not screw it up.
No, you can't.
We'll do that.
It's not when you're drunk and you don't know what you're doing, but it is when you.
it's so thick with Hogan because he's got the racist stuff, he's got the political stuff, he's got the sex tape stuff. And it's just like he managed to like just mar his legacy after retirement into this big like.
Again, separate Hogan from the person. The same thing with a character that everybody plays or this, that, and the other. I like Hulk Hogan, not whatever. We don't know what these people do in their life. Look at all the Diddy myths and all the stuff in Hollywood. It's, whatever. They play a character. A lot of these people have done some pretty crappy things. Look at CM Punk and the stuff that he's done before and all these. And then who was it that's just joined Michael B. Jones's what's her name? Teresa, but she's apologized. Move on. People make mistakes. If they apologize, let's move on and do on, because everybody has things that they do wrong. Nobody's perfect.
So as controversial as this is gonna be, I'm the same way with. I'm just gonna say his initials are CB. I'm the same way. I can separate the body of work from the outside of the ring. Outside of the ring was horrendous.
Glad you got it. She got her, or she won a Stone Cold Steve Austin signed figure. Hey, thanks. We are appreciative to you, Jerry, and everything that you do. You're a good guy, and we loyally thank you for each and every week jumping in. Hey, Andrea,
happy birthday.
It's your little day. You're 44. What is she? Is she 44 or 14? I can't remember. Just kidding, Andrea. I love you.
Oh, pretty please.
Yeah.
Happiest of birthdays.
Good people. Hey, speaking of good people, you got to check out before we bring our guest on. I think he's just pulled up in the limo. Yeah, he's just pulled up outside. There it is. We've got to make sure that he comes in. He's getting ushered in by security now. But before that, hey, check out Spinning the Globe podcast each Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. The guys, Mark, Andy, Richard, and Ben do a great job over there on Spinning the Globe podcast. Make sure you join and subscribe to them. They're going to do a belt giveaway once they hit 500 subscribers. So get them on up there, share, like, get them over YouTube page, Wide World of Belts on YouTube. Go join them over there. Spinning the Globe podcast every Thursday night, 8 p.m.
And did you hear the plot twist that Mark included with the 500 subs in the belt giveaway?
What was that?
If we get Mark 500 subs, let's say by January, February, March, if we get Mark 500 subs and Spinning the Globe 500 subs by March, we just click that like button. He said he would do the belt giveaway and do the show shirtless.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Well, you got to wear his parking the car blazer. But hey, this week they got a great show. It is the taste of bubblegums left over on the New York City subway. That's going to be a great time. They're going to be testing random flavors of gum that's been left on the New York City subways and guessing the flavor. Each one of the hosts is going to try that. That'll be a great show. I can't wait to see that.
Can you go wrong with recycled grape?
I can't. Hubba Bubba. Bubbalicious. Oh, it's good stuff. But hey, folks, we've got a great guest. He has a YouTube page called Berg Blog, Mr. Erik, and let's bring him on now. He is a great dude. He has a review page on YouTube, and we're going to talk with him all things wrestling. Right now, he's a pretty cool guy. He's involved in the hobby. He posts a lot, so he's not just somebody that does reviews and then doesn't get involved in the hobby. He's a hammer like where he's involved in all the stuff. So welcome to the stage, Mr. Erik. Hey! Look at that beard.
And that helicopter ride really had me a little frizzed out, but we got her back in shape.
Yeah. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good.
How's
Got one of my new belts here.
That was the most recent one. You said you found that on Facebook, right?
That was a Facebook Marketplace store. Yep, absolutely.
Throw that back up again. Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know much about it. The guy that was selling it didn't have any information. He saw it at a yard sale, thought it was pretty cool, and he decided he was going to pick it up, and then he just turned around and sold it. But The general consensus online is this is a Victory Belts made belt. So I guess Victory Belts out of New Jersey. I don't know a whole lot about them. It doesn't look like they're active anymore. But it's the cast resin. So it's not metal. It's not plastic. It's not wood. It's like this kind of hardened resin epoxy material. But it's crafted really nice. You can tell that the people who made this belt did a good job with it. I'll show you the back. I mean, it's on a leather strap. It's not premium leather by any means, but
Is it heavy? Looks
no,
heavy.
not at all. I bet
Really?
you maybe a
Oh,
pound and a half.
that resin.
Super light. Super light. So pretty cool though.
That's dope.
That's pretty cool. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. That was just one of your latest videos, right?
Yeah. I just picked that belt up like 2 weeks ago, so I got a review video up on that, and yeah.
I literally spent my lunch watching your pinfall title review.
Oh, did you really?
Pinfall.
Fantastic review, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. It's a beautiful belt. Both the belts that I got right here above me. That's the IC and then the Winged Eagle. And I just posted the Winged Eagle review today, and I'm impressed. That belt, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, Pinfall's doing great things. He's a guy that's a machinist, had all the stuff, and has got into doing this. And then he's also teamed up with Mendoza Craft. You can even get his belts on American leather, adding it on there to get that around the $700 price range, and getting something in around 8 weeks is amazing. Mendoza Craft does a wonderful job over there in the Pinfall. You can get it with a Pinfall with American leather, or you can get it without. You got it without, correct?
I got it without, just the stock strap from Raheel.
Cool.
And that strap is great. I'm not going to have it re-leathered. For what I've seen come out of Pakistan on other belts that I own versus what I got on both the IC and the Winged Eagle, that leather is good by me.
Oh, there you go. That's an improvement, because it's one of the hits that they've always had is their leather, and I know that. The white background looks clean. Yeah, it does. It makes the artwork stand out.
Some of the feedback that I saw already coming through my YouTube page regarding pinfall title belts on Mendoza leather, people seem to love it. Somebody commented that they just bought 3 of them on Mendoza leather, so that's pretty awesome.
I think it goes into a little bit different with what he did. I mean, he actually murdered some people. He took your kids out and this, that, and the other, and did some horrific things. And I think there's a different layer to that, because you're scratching the surface with reminding that. I think as later time goes on, his legacy will be explored again.
I'm jealous.
That's just my opinion. Yeah, look at the beard. Yeah, I told you he's got to step up his beard game. We oiled it up good. I mean, the girls in the back did you good, getting you oiled up, get you oiled up, got your bell on. Hope you had the
got the full treatment. It was wonderful.
Good. How was the helicopter ride over? Hope it was great.
Yeah, I shouldn't have left the window open, but
yeah, well, you didn't have no hair to mess up. So was good.
Got no burst strikes.
So tell us about you. When did you start liking wrestling as a kid? What was your first memories of wrestling?
Oh man, you got to go way back. We're talking early WrestleMania days. My older brother was into wrestling, and he's 5 years older than I am. So I just remember it being the early 80s and watching Macho Man. I remember him carrying the red IC. I remember begging my mom to let us get WrestleMania 5. And of course we didn't, because we were poor. So, we didn't get to watch it, but that's cool. So it's hard to say what my first memories of wrestling.
Did you get it at Blockbuster afterwards or anything?
Say it again.
You didn't get it at Blockbuster or anything, or rent it afterwards? Or are you talking about the pay-per-view live?
Yeah, I was talking about the pay-per-view. So we had this cool little video store called Video Grand, and just about like every weekend I would ride my bike to Video Grand and go see what new wrestling stuff was available. And there wasn't a lot. I grew up in a little tiny small town, so we didn't always have the newest and the best and the greatest. But when the new stuff did come in or something different came in, I was all about it.
I miss those days going into the video store, and you have all those wrestling. And then there was videos that you didn't know that were still coming out, those independent things, and seeing the pay-per-view that you missed from some other. It was
the thrill of the hunt.
Every time you saw something new, it was just like Christmas. It was amazing. So exciting.
So nostalgic. And I mean, that's why we're in this hobby now because of what these belts and things do to us today. So who was it that you liked growing up as a kid?
I had so many. I never had a favorite just because I liked everybody. I tried to live vicariously through some of like the big stars, right? Everybody wanted to be Hogan. There was a time where I wanted to be the Warrior. But guys like Jake the Snake and the $1 Million Man were always people that I thought were so cool. The heels were cool to me back then. Maybe that has something to do with me growing up as a bad kid. I don't know. But yeah, I really liked Ted DiBiase. I really liked Jake the Snake back then. But guys, I remember I had this giant poster of the Warrior on my wall, and he had the tassels on and the face paint on the chest. He had the chest, the logo on the chest and everything. And I mean, that poster hung on my bedroom wall for years. I had the WWF bed sheets that had like Legion of Doom and the Big Boss Man, and I think a lot of us had that set. So I mean, yeah, I can remember book fairs when you went to school, grade school, and you got to go to the book fair and spend like your $4.
Yep.
I got this little book, and it was it just had superstar profiles in it, and Jake the Snake, Hacksaw, Andre, Hogan. There was a few more in there, but I memorized them at the time because I wanted to be the kid that knew the most about the wrestling stuff. So I could be the one to tell you that Jake the Snake was from Stone Mountain, Georgia, or Hogan was 6'8", 307 pounds, that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I remember about growing up when I was young, growing up and pulling wrestling stuff up.
Was it only the WWF that you were experiencing as a kid? Was there any other wrestling organizations or factions or things that you were wrestling? Any other organizations that you were watching, or was it just WWF?
So we had the big two, right? We had WWF every weekend. You had Superstars and Wrestling Challenge every weekend, and I mean, I watched that religiously. I did my best to always try to catch Saturday night and main event WCW every weekend. And then if we were lucky, because cable was weird back then, you didn't always get the same programming, right? So in like ESPN, sometimes we'd get World Class on ESPN, sometimes we'd get AWA on ESPN. And so if I saw those, I would tune in just because I loved wrestling. And it was always interesting because you could be, watching WWF wrestling and wondering, gosh, I haven't seen Sergeant Slaughter in a while. And here he comes on UWF wrestling or AWA wrestling or wherever he was at the time, because wrestlers were still bouncing between territories, and you'd see him on a different program and you're like, oh, what's he doing over here?
Right. Yeah, I can pick and choose. That's just my opinion. That's what we all do. That's why we pick and choose. That's why those people chose to boo the man instead of Hulk Hogan. He was a Hulk Hogan character out there. Boo the guy that on the street then if you don't like him there. I have no problem with the Benoit stuff and watching Benoit as a wrestler and boxer, but I can understand why certain people do and why that's treated a little bit different. But to say you can pick and choose, yeah, everybody can pick and choose. That's their own thing. But I have no problem watching Benoit, this, that, and the other. But he did a heinous thing.
Did you happen to catch the Pat McAfee skit on Hogan this morning?
No, what did he say?
Oh, they did a full skit. They did a full interview with Hulk Hogan, but it wasn't really Hulk Hogan. I'll send you the link. It's hilarious. And according to the fake Hogan, they were booing Jimmy Hart, not Hogan.
Everybody loves Jimmy Hart. Why would they boo Jimmy Hart?
Part of the skit. It's part of the skit. It's hilarious.
I mean that dude needs to be studied when he dies for why he keeps looking the same age for the past 60 years. But I think for me it's whatever you want. I just making political statements at a wrestling that just do it outside of that. You don't have to buy his American beer. You don't have to buy his beer company or his shirts, this, that, and the other. But he's coming in there as Hulk Hogan, and if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, a lot of this stuff wouldn't exist at all, because he pushed the wrestling over into a new thing when WWF was really dying quickly.
And that's the problem with society, though. We live in such a fickle society. They can't separate anything. They can't.
we've come so hateful. We've come so
yes.
The Twitter and these social medias have brought everybody together so much, but they've created everybody to where they get these little echo chambers and they just shout it constantly, and then they feel that they need to go outside and shout it. I don't care who you vote for, who you don't, who you. In my opinion, they're all crooked, and that's my thing of it. But I'm there to enjoy event, but that's my opinion on it. What you think?
Kind of ran down my parade a little bit. I felt bad watching Hogan get booed out of the building.
I mean, he's Hogan. He's done a lot, but has he said some dumb things? Absolutely. I think he gets a lot of hate on it because he's the guy to get hated on. And all these shoots interviews, they're always like, they always shoot or hate on Hogan because he was the top man. He was the top tier. Everybody wanted to be him. When you're the best at anything, people look at all the haters. How many people loved Kansas City? Oh yeah, I even was like, yeah, I wanted Kansas City to win that first Super Bowl, whatever. Now I can't stand them. I don't want to win any more Super Bowls. You hate who's on top. But the other thing is, I don't like all these people like, well, he should have done this or he should have laid down this. Well, guess what? He was smart enough to get creative control in his contracts. Don't hate on the guy for being smart enough to know what he wanted to do. But I just don't get all that hate. I can understand people not liking him and mixing the two because of what he said in the past and this, that, and the other. That I get. But
my opinion is liking the character and liking the nostalgia that we all grew up on isn't an endorsement of him or his personal politics or his personal beliefs. It's an appreciation for the work that we all love, right? So,
yeah. Because it's interesting. The McMahons are heavily involved in the Republican Party.
Yeah, in the Trump organization.
That's pretty interesting. If you're going to hate him for that, then why don't you hate the whole WWE organization for what they?
But that's how wild society is. I'm on Twitter, right? And somebody posted a picture of the Warrior during his retirement speech.
Then I guess you better not watch half of wrestling because that's what they've all done. Good Lord. No, I have no respect for those people either. But again, it's not them. It's the character that they're playing that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Just like I can't stand Tom Cruise outside the ring, but I like Tom Cruise in the Top Gun movies. That's about it. But but I get what you're saying, Mendoza. I would say, Ethan.
But it's one of those things. The way society works now is I'm on Twitter and somebody posted a picture of the Ultimate Warrior at his retirement speech with wearing the little fake mask he had on and stuff.
Right.
And then the caption was, "Hopefully Hulk Hogan tomorrow." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Golly, when you wish death upon somebody, you got some really internal issues.
So the internet's a dark place, bro.
Well, a lot of people are unhappy for a lot of different reasons, and my key to that is lean on prayer, and hopefully everything gets better for you. But we try to stay humble and heap here.
100% support.
Me, she's just looking more and more like a man every other month. She's getting
man.
Okay, I guess it's me.
It would be illegal in 50 states of what would happen. Give me 30 seconds.
That's just funny. That's funny. This statement. And the next thing he types is this statement.
Mommy's a little different.
But I love you still.
Consistently inconsistent, but it's consistent.
Yeah. Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, on her own. I still think one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time, but that's just me. But so we were talking before we got on this. Boy, a lot of people have some opinions on that Hogan stuff, and that gets everybody. I like it. Get mad. That's for me.
Flowing.
As for me, I'm gonna sit here and drink on my double drop kick coffee and say, "Whoo, boy, it bothered you, didn't it, son?" Because I'll still go kiss the wife on her mouth and say goodnight. Mendoza's a good, cool guy. I saw y'all on the other night, but it wasn't registered in the comments on Facebook part. I don't think it's linked right.
Yeah.
It shows it on Facebook, but it doesn't. The comments don't come through in there.
It's Doza,
100%. Yep, on the thing.
Well, I need cuddle time though. I need cuddle time. So 30 seconds has got me some cuddle time.
I don't see those other great tag teams being brought out all the time or still going, do they? Nope. Did you see the before we get it? Did you see the Ric Flair wanting to come into the match or whatever? But there was a video of him lacing up some shoes. I guess he's doing some training to keeping it. But if you turn the volume up on that, he's doing one of these. You can hear. I'm like, dude, you don't need to get in the ring at all. I think you'd have a hernia taking a doo doo.
I said that after his last match. I told you he hosed you guys, and he's gonna hose you again.
He would have been a lot. I don't know who was taking care of him or who was paying attention to him or whatever. But you went in that ring, yeah. Dehydration had a lot to do with that or whatever. But if somebody wasn't giving him the right things, or he wasn't doing the right things leading up to that match, and he suffered for it big time. But it was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. I just be a manager, and you can do a thing to where you jump up in the ring every now and then and knock somebody silly. Just be a manager. What's wrong with being a great manager? People just want to see you, Rick. People just want to see you.
That's ego.
Yeah, I think he's used to being the show, the whole show, the center of attention. I don't think playing somebody's manager is in the cards for Rick.
That's true. That's true. Does beer go down to your knees? it's a long one. But if you watch some other videos of people seeing him coming out of stores or a bar or a hotel, the dude can't even pick up his feet. You hear the grandpa slide.
The grandpa shuffle. Yep. The Biden shuffle.
I'm like, bro, you need to relax. But so when did the love? Did you have belts as a kid? Do you remember anything that you had as a kid? Any of those foam ones that you had?
No, I never even had a foam belt when I was a kid.
Did you make yours or anything like that? Like we all?
Yeah, I would try to make cardboard belts, but I'm a terrible artist, so my artwork on them would look just really terrible. Even I wasn't impressed with my own artwork, And as a kid, usually you think what you're making is really awesome, and I could tell mine was just terrible. But we'd make cardboard belts or whatever, and try to be cool and hold them up and all that kind of stuff. But never had a foam belt. I don't think again, we didn't have department stores for a long time where I grew up. Not until I was, I don't know, probably a teenager, I don't think, before we even had a Walmart near us. So it wasn't easy to just go out and buy foam belts or any of the really cool toys. I was having a discussion the other day about the cool blue ring, that everybody had growing up. And I had some friends that had one, but I never had one. So I'd always go to their house and play with their action figures and their ring. They also had wrestling buddies, which I never had too.
Oh, but you got all that stuff mine now, right? You got all of it now. This was mine from when I was a kid.
That's
Still
awesome.
had it. It was packed away in the barn, and found a lot of stuff of mine as a kid that I had, some wrestling things and some of the wrestling toys I still had, and I still found them, and I'll show them here in a little bit, some other stuff. But
no, I never had any wrestling toys, really. I had a couple of T-shirts, I think. I had the bed sheets, some posters. I don't know at what age, but I bought myself a subscription to the WWF magazine. And so that's how I would get the posters and stuff like that. But I didn't have a lot of toys. It wasn't until my teenage years when I started working an actual job and could afford to buy my own stuff then.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Do you remember the best wrestling toy you had, or the first one that you had when you finally got one? What, remember what it was, or what it was that you got?
No, like the first actual, the first wrestling thing I can remember that I had, and maybe I had something as a kid. My memory doesn't go that far back anymore, I don't think. But it was the Figs Big Gold Belt was the first real wrestling item that I had. And I bought that myself in 1999, I want to say.
I think they were on major network television the other night. Wasn't Rock and Roll Express on major network television the other night on AEW?
I thought so.
Okay. They're on the Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. They're considered one of the top 3, 4, 5 tag teams of all time, right? Mendoza, I'm hoping ICE agents knock on your door. I really am, man. I hope they. This is the guy you got to see for all your belt needs. Mendoza Craft does a wonderful job. Get on his list. Spectacular job. Hit him up for all your leather needs and belt hangers. Belt hangers, belt hangers, belt hangers. He makes the best belt hangers I've ever had. He destroys his leather ones because Mendoza's very thick. Those ones, Ethan, that came in, they were thick and rigid. What you need to be able to not, because leather will stretch over time. And some of these ones that are really, really thin from these places, they start to sag and your belt will start to be doing this. Not those that he makes. He makes some great ones. I don't know if Eric, you saw on our giveaway show, we gave a bunch of belt hangers away.
I missed the giveaway show.
Yeah, and he stamps them too. He puts Hogan's, Warriors, Brett, him. He's just a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, the blue ring. He has
guys out. And for the league guys out there, never fret. Classic Shields come out with them.
Yeah, we got a new one going to come up soon. But yeah, it's for me, that stuff as a kid, and I'm thankful to have some of that stuff still that we packed away in a barn and this, that, and the other. When did you get the belt itch? When did that because for me, I had it as early on as a kid. I only bought the wrestling magazines. I didn't care about the pictures. I didn't care about this, that, and the other or reading them. I bought the magazine. It had a great picture of the belt on it because I was fascinated with the belts. I had to have the ones that had the great belt pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for you, when did you get that belt itch and when did you start buying belts? When did that start happening?
Oh, I mean, the itch is same as you. The first time I saw a championship belt on TV, and I would, like you said, I got a subscription to the magazines, not just for the posters, but because I wanted to see the belts. I wanted to see if I could see them up close. And I used to go to the store and buy like PW Insider and some of the other mags too. So you could see the belts from different organizations. So I always had an interest in the belts, but I think it all goes back to when you're a little kid and you're living vicariously through these superstars, right? And you want to be the champion. You want to raise the belt over your head and you want to go down the aisle, slapping hands with everybody and all that kind of stuff. That's when the itch came in. And then it wasn't until I saw the ad in one of the magazines for Figures Toy Company. And I was like, those are real belts. I could get a real belt. And that was 99, 98, 99, something like that. And I was already working. So it was.
Oh, you're talking about the Figures Inc. ones.
Yeah.
I was talking about these ones. This one's from the 80s, that Cattleman Bear leather belt from the 80s. That was a first replica.
Yeah.
So you started in, when was your first belt? What was your first belt?
It was the Figures Inc. Big Gold.
Figures Inc.'s Big Gold.
What is it? 2 millimeter, flat as a pancake.
Cardboard.
One tone gold.
I was so mad when I got that.
Oh, I was too. It came and I was so disappointed, but at the same time, I was absolutely thrilled. It was such a mix of emotions.
Right. What was it that you were disappointed in? Because wasn't floppy like it or didn't look anything like it? Or what was it?
Everything. It felt like a piece of tin. The strap was awful.
It just didn't have that wow factor that you seen on TV. It wasn't
right.
You folded it. It got a crease in that thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everything about it, and I remember too thinking like, man, this thing should have it shouldn't be this flat. It's so flat. It should have a nice curve. And I was trying to curve it and then I could hear it like popping and breaking. And I was like, I got to stop doing that. Everything about it was disappointing, but it wasn't a foam belt. It wasn't a cardboard belt. It was metal. It looked like the real thing, sort of. So, I mean, it was the next best thing you could have at that time.
Did you do the soapy water on the belt strap tip? Yeah, on the belt strap, so you can make it nice and flexible.
No. Never did that. I kept it put away because obviously I showed all my friends, right? Like I took it around for a little while and let everybody hold it and play with it and all that kind of stuff. But it was kind of a piece of junk. And so it was starting to get beat up and I was like, we got to put this away because we're just going to ruin it. And I don't remember it was $200, I think at that time. So, $200 in 1999 for an 18-year-old kid, that's a lot of money. And so I didn't want to have to rebuy the same belt. I was already saving for the next one.
Yeah, those came out. That was what, you said it was 99, 2000, 2001.
I think 99 is when I had. Yeah, I think 99 is when I got it.
I got my first one about a month after I got, you could only back then. You ordered, if you wanted something, you ordered Reggie. I mean, Reggie was a guy that you went to and you called him up on his phone. I've said this before. And I got that, and I got my first Reggie. Then I was excited to, hey, these are a little bit cheaper alternatives. Maybe they'll be just half as good or almost as good. And then I got it. And after holding a Reggie, and then that thing came, dude, I immediately threw that thing on the ground. I was so pissed off at that. I was like, what are the, and then the deluxe leather came out and you're like, what's deluxe about it? It's the same crap.
Yeah. But see, I didn't have any knowledge of being able to get in touch with Reggie back then. I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
Right. Yeah, and most people didn't unless you met him at a show, a wrestling show or a wrestling event, this, that, and the other. And that's how I had bumped into him and having all this stuff up there. And it was good and it was bad because it got me. I got what you could get, just about the best you can get. You can't get any more in ring, but it ruined you for anything afterwards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it ruins you for $250 or $300 belts or this, that, and the other, or lesser belts or lesser SD or whatever you want to call it. And especially those fig belts that just ruined it because I was like, man, there's no way I'm gonna have. And I gave them away, but my buddy did. He ripped them off of that fake stuff and he put them on real leather, and they came out really, really good. And they looked decent after that, but there was some figs, some of the plates that looked okay. I think the United States WCW, I think, looked okay. The main plate looked all right.
I have that one, the TV title, the WCW TV title as well. I think that was the second one I bought, either that or the US belt, but both of those belts were really good. And I just remember being way more impressed with those than I was with that big gold.
Yeah. Yeah, the big gold was disappointment because it looked different in the pictures too. Because I remember the pictures, it looked detailed and defined. And then you got it, and it's like, man, you can't. There was no. It was still almost flat. The wrestlers were raised up, brother, but the lettering and the floral pattern or whatever, it was just a slight bump. I mean, just barely a slight bump. And,
almost like no etching. Oh, it might as well have just been kind of a press plate, right?
It might have been, and then they glued those wrestlers on. I never. Yeah. But my buddy never said anything about the wrestlers came off when they were probably epoxied on there at some point or something.
You have that picture I sent you of
I bet so. Give me one.
I had from like 2000.
What's that?
Do you have that picture I sent you of the belt collection I had in 2000?
Yeah, I can get it up here as we go on.
Because I had the US and I had the TV title. And I remember, just like I said, I was really impressed with those compared to the big gold. But I ended up, somehow I got the, I don't remember even how or where, I think I bought it off of eBay, the WWF scratch logo Big Eagle Ultra Deluxe. And I remember thinking, because that came on leather, and I remember thinking like, all right, now the plates were thicker, the leather was real, and I was thinking to myself, like, this is what I envisioned with getting replica belts. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Yep. And then there's that there's okay. Yeah, I remember that 3-plater, the WCW United States being decent. And I remember the plates on the center one there, the Big Eagle being okay too.
Yeah. So in that one, in that picture, that's an Ultra Deluxe, and so I think it wasn't 2mm plates like the rest of it. It might have been 3, potentially 4. I don't remember now, but I just remember that belt being on real leather, having thicker plates, having some actual weight to it, and thinking, all right, this is what I need to get my hands on, is more of these.
Yeah, you wanted to flop it over your shoulder and have that nice flop to it and hold it up. Yeah, you wanted it to look like it was ring. When did Ethan, maybe you remember, when did the Ultra Deluxe, the what's the one that people that I'd like to have
Masters?
The Master Series, yeah, when did they come out? They were decent.
I was like 2000. Was that like 2008, 10? It was later. Let me see. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, those ones are pretty cool. So that was your collection back then. Do you still have any of these belts?
I don't. So that was probably 2000, 2001 would be my guess, is when that picture was taken. I don't have any of those belts anymore. My collection grew from there. I think I had classic IC. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's a picture of the rest of the belts that I had. So it was Hogan 86, the classic IC, classic tag. And it wasn't long after that picture right there was taken, we were moving and buying a house. And I ended up selling my entire collection before we did that.
It makes you feel like a king when you put them all on.
Oh man, I just remember thinking like, if I'm selling all these, I need some kind of picture to commemorate like this.
Now, the thing, did you take this picture or somebody take it for you?
Couldn't tell you. I don't remember who took that
Because
picture.
the thing I'm thinking of, if you took it, I mean, you got to put those down. You got to be very, very careful, because if that one real right down there, if you put your legs in a little bit more, that's going straight down right on them toes.
Oh yeah, for sure. And those 2mm plates might as well have been sharp as a knife blade, so I probably would have lost a toe.
Good job. Hey,
Looks
Johnny,
like around 2008, 2009.
The first year in the hobby. All right, man. First year. Oh, yeah. Welcome in.
Bro.
Make sure to join the right groups. Stay away from them scamming groups and selling pages of silly peas. 3 HD classic shields, good. 2 HD ORM, good. 1 HD on it. Yeah, you're going for quality over quantity. 1 SD Nawaz, great guy. 10 Hey, 15 bells. Hey, all right, man. Oh yeah. Get it in. Post those up on Live. We'd love to see them, man. We'd love to see them. Welcome in.
Download that V3. Let me know.
There you go. Just look at the top of the right way in the top 10 earlier. I don't know what you're talking about, but at what list? Because anybody that has Rock and Roll Express not listed as one of the greatest tag teams of all time probably needs to have Chris Benoit visit them. Just saying. That was a cool picture. And then you've got this is your current collection that we see kind of behind you here. So go over what you got here in this picture.
Even that collection's turned over already, because I don't have the Hogan 86 anymore. I don't have the classic tag anymore. And then that Winged Eagle and the Red Logo IC are those are currently up for sale right now, because I've replaced those with the pinfall title belts.
Okay. All right.
And I've got 3 more belts that are on the way. So I'm having that US, that 91 US remade. I'm having the classic tag remade. And then I'm getting the Ric Flair World's Heavyweight WWF Real World's Champion, that tag style belt. I'm getting that made as well.
I believe those are those ones that you find at Walmart and Target. These shelving units that you got here. It's those square ones. You see them a lot in people that I think people sometimes they come in a 4 square.
Those I don't know where we got this. We bought this originally. My wife picked this shelf up. I don't know if we got it on eBay or I don't know. I think we bought it secondhand, to be honest.
Gotcha. But gamer, check your Walmart and your Target. They've got those 4 square ones, and if they don't have the tall one, square one like that one, you can just get 2 and stack them. I've seen people do that, but that's where I've seen those. We have in one of our bathrooms, we have the little 4 square one down there, just using it for regular stuff in our bathroom. Hey, what's up, Vincent? I hope you sold. You guys got a postal strike, so your stuff's going to take a very long time to get there. They wouldn't even allow me to mail it yet. So I know you got that going on. I'm sure you're well aware, but that's why you might take a while to get your prize from the giveaway show. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, it does look like they fit him good. And he's got stands on the top too. Yep. It looks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's stands. I always tell people stands are have some user words about from time with the deal for the. Oh man. I also gamer. A lot of people find I used to have, and I think I have. Appreciate that. What are those curio cabinets? I used to have one of those nice curio cabinets. One of those sliding ones with the things. They work great. They already have lighting installed of them. And you know, if you go on your Facebook Marketplace or your local Craigslist, man, you will find a plethora of display cases in there. This, that, and the other. My favorite thing to use that has always been my go-to that everybody sees in my things and the things that I've got here are sunglasses display cases, whether they're Oakley. A couple of them that I have are electric sunglasses. They're glass, they're metal. They have glass shelving, adjustable. They already have lights installed because they're meant to be in store for sunglasses. And if you will go to your local mom and pop store or locally owned business, you can ask them, hey, can I buy your old displays? Because what happens is my buddy who owns a golf shop here, the town over, is where I got these from. And I have the Oakley ones too for figures and belts and other things. They get a percentage or a little bit of money if they send them back, or they can keep them. But he can make a little bit more. I think he said they were going to give him $50 for them. I was like, dude, I'll give you $100. I mean, I got these dirt cheap. But you can find these on Craigslist, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and things like that. I recommend these because they're lockable, they're glass, they're spectacular, and they look great. And you can find them pretty cheap and inexpensive. But go to your mom and pop local loan stores and say, hey, can I buy your old displays? If when you get your new one, that's a great way to do it that way. IKEA. Yeah, the IKEA ones are. Some of them you got to be watch what you buy. They can fall right on over. Yeah, they do look great. Put some little lighting above it. That'd be spectacular. Somebody on Messenger. I can see my message. I don't check my Messenger during the show, but I see the question. My belt stands are top rope belt stands, and I also get them from Dan McMahon. You can find them different places. I don't know what. I think now, was it Classic Shields is now starting to make them, but they're making them with a metal rod. I guess that would make it more expensive. I don't know why you'd make them with a metal rod when you just need the plastic rod with them. There you go. There you go. What are you gonna say, Ethan?
Nothing. I was just confirming the Classic Shields making the belt stands.
Glasses. I've never had, I sit them in there. I mean, that glass is not some cheap little. I mean, those glass shelvings are over 1.5 inches thick. I mean, they're very thick. I mean, even if I probably tried to break it, they wouldn't. But I've never had an issue with any of that. Scratch your best. Ethan, you can answer this. UFC. I think that UFC V3. The AEW
V3. V3 hands down. It's not even close.
You get mine's at Michael's. There you go. I know there's football ones too that'll fit a football inside of Michael's that you see the football displays in. That will also fit a belt. And I have had I've had a crumb rind inside of that, so that they will fit belts too. You just want to make sure that you give it some air every now and then. You don't want to seal anything up in that's not going to get some air. That'll do. Hey, Mark, how's it going, buddy? Welcome in. Yeah. Yeah, he said he got your review. He looked at it on the we do. Yeah, we saw on the ones that he just got from Pinfall.
Awesome. I like hearing from people that are watching the channel for sure.
Yeah, getting some love, So what made you say, hey, I want to start doing this stuff as a review on your channel, Berg Blog? Where'd you come up with the name?
Berg was my nickname growing up.
Okay.
Yep. And so, I mean, it's even when I see my old buddies now, they just call me Berg. And gosh, I want to say there was this awkward period of time between like 2015 and 2019 where I was laid off from my job, and we had kind of figured out between my wife and I what we were going to do going forward. And so I was staying at home and I wasn't working. I was just taking care of the kids and all that kind of stuff. And I was bored. And so I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll just do like my own little podcast or my own little YouTube rant kind of thing. And I was making little videos about just topics that were amusing to me. And somewhere around the 2019 timeframe, or no, not 2019, sometime around the 2022, 23, I started getting the belt itch again. And so I started watching videos and I started trying to research, and then I joined some belt groups and that sort of thing. But I wasn't finding the type of review that I found helpful. I wanted to see close-up shots of the plates. I wanted to know how thick they were. I wanted to know how deep the etching was. I wanted to see somebody manipulate the leather, that kind of stuff. And there was some reviewers that would do some of that, some that would do the other, but I wasn't finding it all in one spot. So I got my first belt back into the hobby, and I was like, I'm going to do a review on this and post it and see how it goes. And it got good reviews. People commented, people appreciated it. And I tried to make that video for me, for people who are looking at wanting all the information in one spot. So, and then once I finally got a few different belts from different makers, I could then contribute my input, at least, on who I thought was a reputable maker, who was trustworthy, and start lending that into my videos as well. Because I think hearing from somebody lends a certain credibility when you can see the belt they got and they can tell you who they got it from.
And when did you start your YouTube page? How long ago was it?
Oh God, the YouTube page has been up for years, but I didn't start doing belt reviews until a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. Okay. Yeah. And when did you start doing the Facebook groups? Were you already prior on the Facebook groups with your belts and things like that before you started going over on your channel?
I got into a couple. I wasn't active. I was just there creeping because I hadn't collected belts for about a 20-year period, close to it. And so I wanted to just kind of observe and see what people were saying, what they were posting. And then I started seeing the sale posts come up too. And so, that itch started kicking in once you see people selling belts again. And I was like, okay, so this seems like a better way to go is buying direct from these groups versus buying from overseas, at least right off the bat, until I could get a feel for who the overseas makers were that had at least some type of credibility.
Right. Stephen Hammer does a great job with his YouTube page. He's part of the Double Dropkick team. Yeah. He helps us on our Saturday interviews, and he always helps us. He's a part of the creative team in the back.
We just exchanged a couple of messages, and I let him know it was Stephen Hammer's channel was probably the most instrumental in giving me the information I need to get back into the hobby.
Yeah.
Watching his reviews was super helpful.
James, I want to see what you got. Wide World of Belts. Keep posting them up. Love those wrestling belts. Championship belt, brothers, big boys belts. Post them up. I want to see what you got. Also, buddy Jonathan, I want to see those the belts that you got. Post them up in the group. That's awesome. That since you've been in May, so you're a newbie too. Awesome. The wall hangers, get them from. I think they're very cheap through Mendoza. Mendoza can hit you up with those leather wall hangers that you can have, and they're adjustable as well. There's a hanger that I like, and I'm going to use it. Do you guys remember the gold belt hanger that you can hang the title belt that WWE had? I think they still sell it, don't they?
Yeah.
The title belt hanger. Y'all never seen this one? I think that came in the bag.
Yeah, I got one in the closet.
I got to use this because it's killer and it's well made, and I'm going to hang this up in the corner and use it. But it's metal, and it's the belt hanger like they use from over the ring when they're hanging
mine in the corner, you know.
Yeah, I want to do. But it comes with two dividers, so you can put two belts on this thing. You can put one on this side, and you can put one on this side. But it's really, really cool. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they still have it on their site. But it's a cool thing. It's really well made. You can even get somebody locally to make something like this too. If you didn't want this type of logo on it, or take some type of metal hanger yourself. But it comes with it comes with a divider here, so you can put a belt on this side and this side. But I definitely want to get this hung up. These are pretty cool for hanging your belts. And your belt just holds over top of it, so there's no issue with worrying about anything getting messed up and this, that, and the other. But these are pretty cool. I think they still sell them. If not, people still have these on eBay.
I'm looking right now.
Hopefully they still sell them, but I don't know if it was a good seller. I would think it is. I mean, it was popular enough to get them, and a bunch of people I remember when they came out was getting them and used them. But
I don't think you want to have a ladder match.
Yeah, that's what they're for, to hang it over. Yep. You can put it you can put it in your house, let your kids fight over it. Say, hey, whoever wants this belt, go up there and get it. Beat each other up till you get it. But I like those things too. So. What is it that you want people to know about your channel, and what do you think separates yours from other reviewers?
I just try to be genuine in mine, and I'm not saying other channels aren't being genuine, but like I said before, I'm trying to make videos, review videos that give you all the right information that you need to make an informed decision on if you want to buy that belt. So, like the review that I posted today from Pinfall Title Belts, I made sure to tell you who it's from. I give a thorough review. We take good close-up pictures and video. I tell you the good and the bad. You know, the belt is beautiful, but it came with some issues. There's some scuffs and some scratches, and I want people to know that if they want to order, here's A, B, and C about this belt. You now have the information. And hopefully by looking at my channel and seeing that I've done several reviews, you can trust my word on it. So,
the ones, the leather belt hangers, little squares that I had on the giveaway show, Mendoza, you can go to Mendoza for that, or Mark Maggard. I know he can make them as well. Both those guys can get them to you. I mean, definitely cheaper than $50. I didn't know they were $50. I think they were cheaper when I bought them, but I do know you can find them on eBay a little bit cheaper than the $50 for people that already had them.
It doesn't appear they sell the hanger anymore.
Oh, wow. the heck? Yeah, he did a good. So who is over your time of reviewing belts from the past year? Who is some people that you say you like, and who's people that you'd recommend staying away from your experience and what you've been getting?
From the belt makers?
Yeah.
I've only ordered from 2 different belt makers at this point, simply because I read the reviews, I watch the review videos, and then I creep through the groups and I look and see what other people are saying. So I've ordered belts from JS Belt, Jamil Salhari. He was one of Stephen Hammer's reviews tipped me off to him. And so I took a chance on him, and my first belt came and I wasn't happy with it. And I was pretty disappointed, and I let him know about it, and he made it right, and he made it right really quick. The turnaround time was fast, and I thought, I appreciate customer service. So I spent 15 years in retail, so I understand that sometimes shit happens and things goes wrong, and it's how you respond to that. And Jamil responded really well to my feedback, and sent me a brand new belt and told me to keep the other one. All he wanted for me was to have a good belt, and so that earned my business, and I bought 3 more belts from him, and he's making 3 more for me right now. And then the only other maker that I've bought from is the pinfall title belts that I just picked up.
And
I recommend.
How long did it take? Were those in stock belts, or was it from beginning to end from pinfall?
From pinfall. So I ordered early December. I want to say it was like December 10th, somewhere in that neighborhood. And the belts came right around the new year. So that was, and he was making the plates. So it was pretty quick turnaround time. He was sending me updates of the plates as they were being etched, as they were being plated, once he had them on the leather, and then of course the shipping information. And I will say that Rahil, who runs Pinfall Title Belt, he did a great job with communication. His updates were on track. Even the tracking information, he was monitoring the tracking and sending me updates. Hey, looks like your delivery date is going to be this. Oh, your delivery date got moved. Expect your belt Friday. So I really appreciated that from him.
That gets an attaboy there. Oh, yeah. That was pretty awesome. But so you don't have anybody that you'd say you would avoid or stay away, or a belt that you've got in and be like, nope, I wouldn't use this maker.
Here's who I avoid. I avoid all the unsolicited messages that I get in my spam box. Hey, brother, I make quality belts. I bet you do, but I'm not willing to take a risk, you know? Yeah. So I avoid all those. You can find the same way I did, just watch some review videos or hang out in the belt groups long enough, and you'll see who the reputable makers are and who's not.
Do you have any other social media that you want that you care for people to check you out on, and this, that, and the other, to let them know and make sure that they like and subscribe to Berg Blog?
You know what? The YouTube channel is the primary. The Berg Blog has a Facebook page, but it's just me posting my review videos. And there's an Instagram that I don't think I've updated in probably a couple of years. So I don't do a lot with social media on the Berg Blog side. I just post the videos. I want those to be helpful for people. I have my own personal social media page, and I use that for my family and my friends. But outside of that, I don't have a lot to plug.
Are the kids allowed to play with your belts, or is there certain belts so you're like, nope, you got to wait till I hand them to you, or you can't touch them, or you can't? Is there anything that's for the kids, like, nope, you can't touch these belts when I get them?
Now, you know what? I think I'm the only belt enthusiast in the household. My wife's in the other room right now, and she tells me frequently that she must love me a lot to allow these to sit in our dining room. So,
right. Well, Mendoza, from what he's saying, that's impeccable. The stuff that dude's even updating them on the tracking. Are those send you? So your wife has mine are in a man cave, but even before, if there were mine, she's like, you put up what you love, and that's a good thing to have in a spouse. Is like, if you love something, you enjoy it, put it out, put it up, display it. I'm not going to, I don't understand these people that have spouses like, no, put something away that you like. I don't want to see that. And it's like, if my wife has stuff that she likes that she puts up, and I don't understand.
We're slowly outgrowing the house we live in right now. And how you do that, right? You collect enough stuff, and pretty soon you're just bursting at the seams. And so my wife spends a lot of times looking at new houses and sending me, here's a nice house that we should look at, that kind of stuff. But secretly in my mind, I think it might just be that she wants a house that's got a special room for me where I can just put all this stuff away.
Right. It's, these are things that have great childhood memories. And I don't want to, even though these are all in a man cave, I don't want to live in a house that you can't sit, you can't touch, you can't do. Live in a house that's livable. And if your spouse loves you and you love her back, you enjoy the things that they love, and these things bring us back great memories of being a kid. And we're all the generations, like our parents didn't do these type things because I don't think that they had the stuff that we regularly do with getting to it. They were very limited in what toys they could get. And if they got one, it was great just because there wasn't all out there. Our generation, Gen X, I don't know if you, I'm a Gen X, and, my generation's first to not have going in from not having some of those things to going into cable and first to dive into some of these things. And now we're all collectors. We're all collecting, things that we grew up with or toys that we liked and the wrestling we got, because it brings back this nostalgia factor of what it felt like. And I know when I hold these belts, I'm instantly taken back to a 9, 10, 11-year-old kid growing up. And I think that's what it's all about.
I think my wife understands that. She knows that these belts, they're not just like toys on a shelf for me. They connect with my childhood. She knows that. And I think that's probably the reason why she lets me keep them in our dining room, is because they do have a special connection for me.
It's a great talking point too. When people come over, it's a great conversation piece. Everybody, when they come in the house, they always want to come in this room.
Yeah. Right.
They don't want to come. They want to come in the man cave. They want to see all this stuff. They want to hold all this. They want to go out and see some china you can't touch or some expensive painting that you can't touch. They want to come in and look at all the cool stuff.
Well, and I don't have like a hands-off rule either. So, there's times where I'll just be standing here looking at them and the kids will come by and they'll look with me and they'll go, which one's the belt of the day? And I'll grab one and throw it on their shoulder and I'll be like, for you, it's this one. And for you, it's this one, and we'll just have a good time doing that kind of stuff.
I want to see it, Lane, when it all gets it. Lane got the new picture up too.
He did
there. I think we all have probably some things that we would like. I'd like to have my original Voltron back.
Me too.
I'd love to have that thing back. I kind of miss that. Yeah. It is pretty cool. Yeah. You can come in here. Just bring the Diddy oil. But that's cool. We want to make sure that everybody out there goes and joins YouTube Berg Blog on YouTube. Go there. Make sure you subscribe. Give him a thumbs up. Watch some of those videos. Support people in the community that try to help you out. And his channel is informative. Tries to give you guys a look at a belts when they come in. And we want to make sure that you support people like that and help them in the things that they do. But before you go, I wanted to, as we delve into, a different style now here. And I said, if you wanted to stay, you still want to stay on this to discuss a couple little things that we got going on?
For sure.
Well, that's cool. As we jump in here to the second part, but you guys, all that are watching right now, make sure you drop down, give a thumbs up, give a like on this, share it. We're a little over 1,000 subscribers now in just under 6 months. We've done an incredible job being a little niche podcast. It's all about the hobby, belt hobby, a little bit of wrestling. We do some sports from here, some sports gaming, but you got to make sure that you subscribe. But let's get the Lion Voltron. Yep. Pretty spoiled from what we had growing up. We would have some of these things that people pick on and downgrade, which I hate when people down somebody's new belt just because they buy more expensive belts or my whatever. I can't stand that. But we would have killed for to some of the worst makers that what they make now. Nope. Hey, he says he's gonna. Hey, you got another subscriber there, so you're getting some pickups. It pays. Come on, DDK, and hop up to the bar. Poor execution on that double drop kick. Maybe I'll have to change it. Hey, Andrea, we heard you turn 44 today or tomorrow or
45th birthday.
Yeah. Hello, Mark. We can. I guess we can get a little bit better of a drop kick if you want. I mean, that helps.
Here they go! Double drop kick! Takes him down. Ricky goes for the pin. They have him.
Was good.
Ricky Morton drops to his back. Well, Robert Gibson
falls to his side. Yeah. Ricky's always gone and fallen flat on his back.
I never liked that style drop kick.
The same thing with like Ric Flair. When Ric Flair gets body slammed, he does not like to land on his back. He likes to land a little bit on his side. Yeah, it's just a preference. There was something that he had injured his hip early on in his wrestling career, and they told him to try to limit it, so he limits it by landing on his back that way. I appreciate the support and everything that everybody's giving into us, but there was a topic that came up, and Ethan, you were familiar with this topic too, about the people that got really, really upset about a belt, about a C4 belt, right?
Yes.
And
sure.
I found it really, really interesting. And there was a belt made by C4. It was one of the earlier ones on Made. It was number 6. And this belt here was somebody was very mad, and I think everybody knows who it was mad. Never gift hard lesson. Never gift a professional wrestler or anyone something like this belt of one of my good friends gave Hulk Hogan out of kindness of his heart, donated to him. He says if Hulk Hogan didn't want it, he should have given it back instead of trying to flip it for $6,000 with his signature on it. Lifetime of loving Hulk Hogan destroyed. Well, one, that's kind of soft. 2, you need to understand, and I'm pretty sure this person I know understand, they don't hold these things like we do. They're props to them. But I'll get you guys' take on this first, and then I'll give mine. Let's let our guest jump in first. Eric, what did you think of this situation? A little bit of people, being upset about this. And
well, 2 things, right? Okay. Number 1, this is the perfect example of people being butthurt on someone else's behalf, right? And that's where we are in society today. We have more people who are concerned about other people being butthurt. I don't understand that. So it's not whoever posted this. Why isn't whoever gifted it is the only person who has the right to say that they're upset. Nobody else should be upset about it because it's not their belt. And the other thing that I think about is like, do we know what Hulk's doing with the money? Is he putting it right in his pocket? Is he going to give it to charity? Is he reinvesting it back into his business, which hosts contests for wrestling fans and does giveaways? Like, there's a whole other end of that people don't know. And so I find it really, really weird that people would get upset over something super trivial like this.
Yep. Ethan, what you got? Give it to me, Ethan. Ethan, give me real. Do I need to play the real talk thing for you to give me the real talk on this or no?
No, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm
right.
twofold.
All right.
This, right?
I don't want no fluff and gander on this.
So I know the person. I don't know the person personally who gave the belt to him. I know of him, so I can't speak for him. So I don't want to speak for him. But being twofold on it, one, I think it's a tacky look for Hogan. I get like you're Hulk Hogan and it doesn't mean a ton to you, and you could have waited a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, throw it in the closet for, just maybe let it war off for a little bit and then kind of just sold it. But at the end of the day, he was given this by a person that I think where people get a lot more upset was because they keep prefacing that this person that gave it to him is just a blue collar, paycheck to paycheck guy. And I think that's where people kind of are getting more butthurt about it. So, I mean, until I hear the person that gifted this to Hogan is furious, I think it's tacky, but at the end of the day, it's Hogan to do what he wants.
Complaining.
Yeah.
Now, did they buy this belt from that person, number 6? I know they didn't buy it from C4 directly. It was second or third person.
Second hand. Yeah.
Okay. So that person this blue collar person actually bought it, correct? That's what I understand. Yeah. They bought it and then they decided to give it away to Hogan.
Yeah.
So if they even buying these secondhand, because they're 4,000 new, I haven't seen any that are going, not more than $3,000 at best before they partnered with Crumrine. So this person living paycheck to paycheck bought something for $3,000. That's not paid. They're not living paycheck to paycheck. That's them first and foremost.
The only way I can explain it to where we understand it in the belt hobby is like, it would be like a person losing their job and then like people taking donations for the person. And then the person's out buying belts or action figures or what So I just, it's optics. That's more than anything. That's all it is optics.
That's
I know that.
Right?
Yes, and that's the things. That's the problem with it. We know everybody in this hobby has an ego and has an opinion. So, and they'll fight in this hobby, people will fight to the death about if they think they're right. It's wild.
Yeah, these aren't replicas. These are a real handmade belt. Each one's a little bit slightly different because they're made by a actual silversmith, but you're actually getting a Crumrine belt. Maybe somebody say, "Hey, you got a C4." Here's my take on it. Once you give something away, shut your mouth. You have no right to complain about what somebody does once you gifted it. If you cared what they did with it, then you should have beforehand, don't sell this, don't do this, don't do this. But the guy's got millions of dollars, doesn't need for you to give a C4 to him. 1. 2, we don't know if there was stipulations put on it. I'm pretty sure it's not. They just gifted it to him. But I'm pretty sure Hogan wouldn't have said, I'll take this. I'll never give it away. Thank you for the gift. I mean, he's got ring used belts in his collection. I think maybe you thought you were going to get more out of it. Maybe this person did. I don't know. I'm not going to add that factor into it. I'm just talking about the post. Don't get mad at somebody what they do with their property. It's Hogan's now. He can do with whatever he wants, however he wants, whatever he wants. Do I think Hogan's signature adds $2,000 to the value of the belt? And it's been through 3 owners, now 4 now. I mean, the belt's spectacular in shape anyway, but no, I don't think his signature is worth that. This is still about a $4,000 belt, but that's his business. He can charge $1 million for it if he wants. It's Hogan's belt. He can do what he wants with it. It was gifted to him. I don't understand why we're mad at what people do with their property. This person who was supposedly living paycheck to paycheck, they're living paycheck to paycheck. 1, they shouldn't have bought that belt from whoever it was. And 2, they should have sold it themselves. Or went to the Hogan shop when he was signing stuff, paid the $150 for Hogan to sign it, and then sold it himself for $6,000. But what somebody does to theirs, Hogan, there's no fault in this on his. He can do whatever he wants with it. That's all my opinion. I don't know what was said. If it wasn't, now there'd be a different story. If Hogan told this guy, I'll keep it forever, I'll never sell it. But this person's certainly not posting on it that they're upset. It's somebody else upset that it run into theirs. Now, is this person upset because they've got all the other C4s too that they're trying to sell? Or is this person upset because they gifted that they didn't say anything about gifting it to that person gifted it to a rich person or whatever. But once again, learn in life. If it's not yours, don't worry about it. You can't push what other people decide to do. Yeah, whatever. Why get upset about this? That you're mad that somebody's doing something with it when it's like, I see all the time when, and I keep it to myself and inside my family and with my wife, when people die, their parents die, and they're living in the same area. They don't want to keep their house, and they sell their house. They sell all their things. I could never do that. And internally, I'm like, I don't know why they do, but I don't want to go over a post and tell everybody in the world or tell that person exactly what you should be doing. Something once it's yours, it's theirs, and you got to understand that and move on for it. But I don't see the people being mad at Hogan for doing something that's his, that was gifted to him, that this person that's posting didn't have anything to do with. That's
Preach.
my take. See what other people think. Yeah. Well, I that's what I don't understand either. I don't know, and I don't know how he got it. Ever, it's just that he was gifted it to him. I don't know the circumstance how he got in it, but I don't know why you'd give a multimillionaire if you're living paycheck to paycheck. You already bought at least a $3,000 belt, so you're not paycheck to paycheck. But I mean, if you're so hurting up for that and this, that, and the other, the person that's posting should have told him, "Hey, man, you own this belt. You should be doing this with it before you get." There's a lot of dynamics to it that's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But yeah, why give him something that valuable when they know that that's not going to mean that? He didn't hold this actual belt, actual one. He held the crumb, but this particular belt he didn't hold, doesn't mean anything to it. He was gifted something. These guys, I can imagine all these wrestlers could fill warehouses full of stuff that fans send them and give them. This one, if this would have showed up in Hogan's thing, he bought one and then signed it. We would have never known unless this. There's probably tons of other things that these wrestlers have sold or done that we don't know where they got it, where they come from. Yeah, they can do with it what they please. Amen to that. Yeah, I mean, you've gifted to this show. I mean, you knew it was going to be a giveaway, but once you did, you didn't say, "Hey, Kevin, that item that I'm donating for your giveaway better go to this person, this person." You said goes to whoever you decided it goes to and who won it. Well, the possession thing that's not a true factual. That gets into a different type of law. I mean, just because if I go and take Ethan's belt off his wall and hold it in my house, it doesn't mean that 9/10. But no, that's in a different type of realm. Yeah, he did what he wanted to with his property. Yeah, we don't know what he may have traded for it. We don't. Yeah, absolutely. No. It's just it's one of those things. There goes a main course, some great stuff. Great stuff. I'm curious to how this was made public to begin with. I guess this person who posted this knows the person. He knew the person that gave it away. Wasn't that it, Ethan?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Well, there was a video. I believe I could have swore I seen a video of him gifting it to Hogan.
Okay.
And then this transpired.
Oh, no, nothing with you. I'm saying the possession thing is right, but in this case, but 9/10 of that law particularly, it's not a true law. 9/10 possession is, when it comes to no proof and somebody saying I have it and you have it, then 9/10, yeah, well, he has it, but you guys have no proof of who got it or when. That's when it comes into that type of thing. But no, good. You're good, Chris. And I get what you're saying is he has the right to do what he wants to it once he has it.
When I hear possession is 9/10 of the law, all I hear is Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan arguing over Jake the Snake and Ted DiBiase in the $1 Million Belt feud.
Yeah, this is the statement right here for me is what he's saying here. I think there's more to this story of somebody who posted this that is upset a little bit more than what we're finding out. Maybe that maybe he sold it at a big discount to this person and is upset. Maybe that this person decided to give it away when he was like, "Well, man, I could have done this with it or made more of it, and you just give it away." I think this person that posted it's a little bit more mad. I'd like to figure out what that is, but as far as what Hogan does with it when he's gifted it, that's his business. And that's, I think everybody kind of, I think everybody kind of agrees with that. Everybody here kind of agrees with it. It's right. Don't we all agree here on the screen that it's his to do with what he wants with it once he got it, and you can't be mad at that. And especially people with celebrities or whatever, I guess they think they're going to react differently to things that we hold. Yeah, these wrestlers don't care about these props or props to them. There's maybe 1 or 2, 3 wrestlers out of 100 that actually care about these belts. And they're becoming more of a prop that they're using replicas in the ring than they are using a belt made by an actual company. He's a Decepticon. Yeah. But what I did say, it's a great with whatever happened, whoever. It's great. C4AuthenticBelts.com, taking it back to like it's 1986. It's great publicity for them. Like, hey, what is this belt? Oh, this is a nice belt. I mean, you got Hogan signing the case. That's the case that it comes in. That's pretty cool that way. But there was something else I wanted to talk with you guys about to see what you guys thought of this. Everybody knows Tony Khan and what's been going on with him and AEW in decline and what's been going on and why is it declining? Why are all these things? And some people are leading into, hey, it's starting to affect and take down New Japan Wrestling. 1, because they're taking all their talent. 2, they're mediocre. Something's happened where they're interjecting all their crap into New Japan Wrestling and taking it down. I don't watch New Japan Wrestling, but I do know, and I've watched the research before the show, that ticket sales for New Japan Wrestling are going down. Sales for stuff on New Japan Wrestling, merchandise is going down. Interest if you look on the analytics on New Japan Wrestling on Twitter and everything there. And then they just had one of their biggest events. And it looked like this. I remember that event being there, and it was a lot of people's bucket list, and it was down, and down greatly. Their numbers. I know the numbers even from last year in attendance was down almost 15,000 on one day, and I think it was 10 the next day. What's going on? What's going on, you guys out there? Any interest in this? Do you believe? I think it's New Japan Wrestling losing a lot of these people to AEW. I think that's part of it. What else do you think? Eric, do you watch any of these to know any about? If you don't, if you got an opinion on it,
I'm not connected to the. I never was connected to the Japanese wrestling scene. It just wasn't something I got into. AEW product isn't something I ever got into. I do listen to a lot of the podcasts that are out there. So 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff. He's a no bullshit kind of guy, and he gets a lot of flack for being up AEW's ass all the time. But he speaks from a place of relevancy. He's been there, he's done it, and I think what started to be goodwill from Eric Bischoff in terms of advice and sharing with Tony Khan has now turned into anger because he sees kind of this wasted opportunity to have a promotion that could be a contender, but just is never going to be.
Ethan, anything?
I never was a New Japan guy. I tried so hard to like AEW, and Tony Khan, I'm sorry, but he can ruin a wet dream. That guy just needs to stop. I know he's got daddy's money, and daddy's not as, like what we were talking about earlier, daddy's not much more intelligent than he is running the Jaguars versus the way AEW ran. So you can see where that family is willing to lose a lot of money and do a lot of dumb things because they're just not smart. They're just not smart. And, you know, AEW picks the New Japan wrestlers and they pick them off. There's no storylines. There's people just get buried, and then people eventually go to another company. Just death by 1,000 cuts. And that's just what's going to happen. That's just what's going to happen. It's just you continue to see the decline, and they'll hit their bottom. I mean, I don't know how much more AEW can decline without just folding shop. Since their numbers are bad.
They're really bad. They're under NXT stuff. I mean, they're down, and I think even those numbers are a little bit fluffed. I mean, they're down to 300,000, 400,000. Back to this question real quick before I give. He asked this question. They're out there. Mainly, you just got to find out where they are. But usually, when people sell a Reggie or Milliken or those type of belts, they'll usually go on Belt Talk forum online, and that's where they sell them because that's where the guys go to buy those to do that. You'll not see them really on Facebook because a lot of people on Facebook are a lot of newbies or a lot of ignorant or a lot of haters on something. Oh, that doesn't look good as my $250 bet. No, shut up. No, it doesn't. Stop. I get it, but stop when you can't compare. There's a reason one's 250 and one's this. But that's why many of them, when they don't sell them on Facebook places, because a lot of people and a lot of groups, not the groups that we push here, they get a lot of hate on them for selling them because people are down on that ain't worth that. That ain't worth that. And you get a lot of that. So that's why you don't see too many more. But when you do buy a Milliken or you do buy a Reggie, make sure you're talking to somebody that really has had one, been in the hobby a long, long time, and knows what it is to authenticate it, especially with the Reggie. My thing of the New Japan thing is I'd love to hear Ben's take on it. I just think it's something's going on, and the one common denominator is AEW being involved. What's going on? And it's a shame because AEW has a whole lot of talent, but you hardly ever see it. And I think a whole lot of people in the New Japan were mad that the Young Bucks again were tag team champions over there again and got one of the worst tag teams, I think. They're mad about that. And I see a lot of the supporters going over to TNA now for that. But also a lot of the TNA talent is disappearing. So it's just interesting to me. And I wish if Ben was still watching, maybe he'll watch it or I'll ask him a little bit later. Yep. He has them a little bit higher than what they should be, but that's his price. TNA is pretty cool. They got some of the best looking belts, but that's my take on that. The other thing real quick on the Tony Khan thing, is his statement that he said on Fox Business just before the end of the year. He was interviewed, and this is the statement that he said. He said, over 500 million plus people went to attended the little more than 101 live events in 2024.
Those are big arenas. Huge.
If you just take it as 200, that would be 4 million, nearly 4 million. If my math is right, 4 million per event. At 101, that's like 5 million people per event.
They're not even putting 4,000 people in an arena.
I don't know why. And you got shills on Twitter that support that statement. Oh, he knows what you're talking about. He's a billionaire. He's not a billionaire. His daddy is. Okay.
Stupid is and stupid does.
But that statement to me was just crazy. And for those people to say, no, that's not what he said. That's not what. Go watch the interview yourself. Because I was like, what? And maybe he misspoke, but not only did the reporters get it, but he said it, multiple times. And I don't get why somebody's not just going to him and be like, dude, you're killing stuff. And I don't want AEW to die, because that'll leave WWF with not pushing the boundaries with better. They'll just take what they got, because they'll eat it up. They'll eat it up. Competition breeds better storylines, better success, better this. But this guy even killed a storyline. There was a news report that came out that he even killed a storyline. You know how the storylines did in WWF when, like, the general managers are the ones booking the matches, and they're one coming out. I'm your booking. He killed the storyline because one of the storylines was this person was going to start booking the matches, but he said no to that because he wants everybody to know that he's booking the matches. Bruh, it's
flat out rejecting the story.
It's hurting my head, and I want AEW to succeed. I'd like to have something else to look at and whatever, but
is that the biggest problem with AEW is lack of story? Because they've got
booking is 90% of it, in my opinion.
Just oodles of talent, right? They've got top tier talent, but they have no story. And you look at what WWE's done over the last 5 years, and it's all storyline driven. I mean, how long is the Bloodline storyline? 2 years now? And people are eating it up and invested in it.
My inbox is open.
I don't get it. At what point are you Tony Khan? Do you wake up and say, I need story. I need something that's going to keep people wanting to come back.
That's it. These playing with daddy's money. Daddy doesn't even have somebody in his ear saying, look, dude, you're making the wrong decisions in the Jaguars. Jaguars ain't been nothing since Cons and what they're doing. And they let a great winning coach go when they're not realizing it's the talent and the quarterback issue and the line issues, and they just keep firing coaches. But the 90% of it's the booking. The other thing is 9% of that is every wrestler you have on the roster is the same look. They're all 5'10", 190-pound wrestlers. You got to have some difference in there. They've got a talented female roster, and then the other thing I think is the biggest problem is their scripted stuff in ring is 10 times worse than the WWE's. But I want them to succeed. But with stupid mess like this, keep throwing all the money away you want. And eventually, people are like, well, he can keep doing it. No, you can't. Because I don't care how much money AEW has. When you don't have sponsors, you don't have people that will put on your shows, you don't have a network, you don't have a host, unless you pay billions and billions for that services, because these streaming services or these networks, they're like, well, we can't even charge, let's just say $100 for a 30-second commercial because your ratings are so down. We're having to charge $50 for a 30-second commercial because your ratings are so far down. The more ratings go up on something on a network, the more they charge for their commercial. Case in point, the millions of dollars for 30-second commercial on the Super Bowl. And these people are leaving AEW, the providers, these places. You're going to end up being like NWA if you don't stop. Have all the money you want to pay all that talent, but you're not going to be out there anywhere on any major networks to gain any great traction or footing because you're doing the wrong things. And it's a sad state where that company is going, and it's going fast. Yeah, Jones, they're on a rebuild. They're rebuild because AEW is stealing all their roster and then not even using their talent. Ben, we were asking, with this, the rest of their main event in Japan, the attendance was absolutely horrid. And my take on it was from what I was reading and this, that, and the other, because I don't watch New Japan too much. I watch it some. That they were down, $10,000 and $15,000 just from 10 and 15,000 from fans from last year, and it was down the year before. They're having a 4-year decline, and what's the bottom denominator? Their talent going and their partnership with AEW. That's from what I'm seeing and what I'm reading. Do you agree? And it's a shame because New Japan is to be a great, great product. But that's what I was asking that you were here. I'm glad you're here. Get your input, and thanks to Jones for your input on that as well. But Tony Khan going out there and when your owner is out there making those kind of statements, it just
credibility is out the window, right?
I mean, do you have? I mean, I'm wondering, are you even smart?
Well, this, to your point, right? Advertisers, networks, all these people, they're going to look at this company and look to the figurehead of the company and decide whether or not that's somebody who they can trust in business. When you go out and you say something as foolish as 500 million people went to 101 events, and that math doesn't math, they're probably gonna be like, yeah, I think we're gonna take a pass on this AEW thing.
You got to understand though too. You got to go from the other side of the perspective though. They have money not to have to live in reality.
Right. Yeah. They live in a different world than we live in. For
exactly. Sure. So we're looking at it from a perspective of, we'd have to, the amount of money they're losing is something that's unfathomable. And you look at that family and just the amount of money they get from the TV revenue from the Jaguars. I know we say they can close up shop, but the amount of money just from TV that the Jaguars bring in every year, that family is so filthy rich.
Well, yeah. I'm saying they're not going to go away but they'll have no place to put AEW because those providers are already abandoning them because they can't sell their advertising. So unless, and I'm sorry that how much stinking rich they don't have network billions of what it would cost you a year. It would cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 billion a year for you to be able to keep something on a channel for 2 or 3 years. A crazy figure, but I wonder when they wake up. I hope they wake up soon. What do you guys think of this real quick as we hit it? Triple H announcing the Raw is not going to be 3 hours anymore. It could be 40 minutes to 4 hours. Quick take, Eric. What do you think?
I love the fluidity of it. I watched last night, and I think the formatting, I think it's new and exciting all over again. I think that being on Netflix gives them the freedom and the creativity to be different and invite a whole new swath of wrestling fans and bring people in that might not have ever decided to watch wrestling. And then for people like me who've been, watching it for 40 years, it's just fun to see where it's going to go.
Right. Ethan?
My issue is the longer it goes, I have a really short attention span. So like after about 2 hours, I'm like, my brain's just going a mile. So I'm one of those people that's like, I'm happy with that 2 hour mark.
I don't envision
really good.
I don't envision they're going to run 4 hour Raws. I think, the way I read the comment is they just have this fluidity. They're not bound by network timelines anymore.
Well, aren't they doing 3 hour SmackDowns right now?
That's still on network, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, he said he thought it was bad last night, Keith. Yeah, I kind of read into the statements like for people to expect it not to be a set time show.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of read into it. I doubt that they would ever put anything on that's going to be under an hour. You would get murdered if I'm paying for, I don't think. But I think he's saying that it's not going to have the same, there's not going to be a set time anymore.
There's not a hard out anymore. And I think 2 hours will probably be that sweet spot, right? 2 to 2.5 hours.
If it means you can now open up, because you're on Netflix, it means you can open up your tag team division and have better storylines and get true tag teams. I'll watch it for 4 hours if I get to see an hour's worth of tag team matches. The tag team division is dead, and I want to see it come back.
That is the good thing about Netflix, though. You're not at the mercy of ending the show to meet other people's advertisements and starting the new program, so you can just run as whatever you want.
Yep. Yeah, the beauty and the freedom of live streaming, right? So I don't know. To me, that's exciting. I haven't watched wrestling consistently, especially. I found WWE over the last 5 to 10 years to kind of just hit this like rut and be overproduced, and it just wasn't exciting to me anymore. And this Netflix deal kind of has me a little invigorated.
Oh, he said SmackDown's going to go back down to 2 Do you have I'd be interested to Adam, do you have a VPN? A lot of people, and I looked at them on Twitter when Ethan's saying, a lot of people are saying that the VPN, if you had a VPN, you didn't get commercials. A lot of people are saying that on Twitter. And if that's true, shut up. So Netflix can figure out, I mean, they can't really get away from, but.
No, I guess we're the only country that Netflix broadcasts to that is going to have commercials.
Oh, but if you can switch your VPN to over, yeah, that's why they're getting around with it. But I mean, that's part of the thing today. For me, I hated seeing all the crap all over the ring, and there was a lot of people that complained about that. I hate that too. I like to see a nice, clean ring. But the people that are complaining, I'm like, well, you watch UFC, you don't complain about it all over the ring in there.
So you brought up a good point, and this is something that
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the advertising.
Did you guys get a sense of there being like this feeling like it was a UFC type event, with the fact that they've got champions in the crowd and their talent in the crowd? And it's not, traditionally wrestlers are all backstage, right? They're in backstage segments. They're not sitting out in the crowd. We're not doing live shots of them enjoying the show. Whereas if you watch the UFC, the ring's filled with sponsors, their gear is filled with sponsors, and they've got their talent out in the crowd.
And now they're announcing the gate and everything else. They announce the gate every UFC.
There's kind of this melding happening under this new Endeavor umbrella that, I don't know, it just kind of felt like maybe there was some WWE's pulling from some of that UFC type.
Yeah, I mean, look who bought it. I mean, that's what they do. You're going to see it. I hate to see all the advertising in the ring. I hope that, because I'm like, man, if it's that way just for this, what's it going to look like on?
Wait till it comes on the trunk.
Big, SummerSlam, or
I don't know. I could look past it. To me, I look past it. The way I looked at it is, number one, it didn't bother me that much.
The way it is in sports, I'm already tired of it on the jerseys. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the fact that advertising is everywhere, but the fact is advertising's everywhere, right? So this, to me, this was Super Bowl-esque. This was, a big UFC type event. It had all those makings of being a big event. And it almost, I don't know, in my mind, it has like this legitimization now that the WWE is an actual sporting event.
Yeah. I didn't have anything against. I thought everything looked kind of good. I thought where they had it at, the entrance, the stuff like that. I still don't like a whole lot of the talking. I wish we'd go back to the interview miking backstage and more wrestling. I'm still hoping that if they got more time now that they'll introduce more tag team wrestling. I hope that that comes up with it. You shared this picture with me real quick. What was this picture? Is that of your two?
So I didn't know if we were going to get around to it or not, but I released a video, or I filmed a video today, and I was talking about the reason why I was ditching my WWE shop belts for like the pinfall title belt, and it's really just the different color schemes. The shop belts, to me, they don't look right. The color doesn't look right. It doesn't look gold. It doesn't look prestigious. It looks orange, kind of brassy. And so I sent you the picture just if we were going to get around to that talk. That's all.
Yeah. We can talk. They're not going to be. I mean, they're a mass-produced belt at that price. You're not going to get the real gold plating and all this kind of stuff. And it's just, a more affordable option for somebody, that type of thing. I thought this was cool too. Outside, they had the drones outside of the event. I thought that was a really cool touch by WWE. I thought it was spectacular looking. There was a guy that loves to fly drones. I know Mark does too. I thought this was absolutely awesome and a home run hit seeing this outside.
And the drone shots in the arena were cool.
Yeah, it was just killer. Some people didn't like the camera feeds that were inside. I mean, we got to work through a couple of things, and this, that, and the other. Yeah, a lot of people say they like the intro. It was really cool. Yeah, that's true. It's always a start, but that's why I hope AEW continues, or will try to fix. Oh, that's crappy. to keep pushing them, to keep pushing WWE to do certain things and to push the boundaries more and more and that type of thing. But Eric, we appreciate you joining us tonight, man. We got to have you back on. You have a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of great opinions, and you agree with everything that Ethan says. So I'm pretty sure that's why he wants you back on too. Ethan, you got a C4 in today, didn't you? Look at that C4 you got on your hand. You're drinking it.
Oh yes. Sugar-free, carb-free. It's flavor because I've been drinking a lot of water. So
yeah. But hey, man, make sure you guys absolutely get over and hit our buddy up over on his YouTube page. You want to take in all the stuff that he's doing. The Berg Blog over there at YouTube. We thank you so very much for joining us tonight, man, and wish you much success. And hopefully you'll come back on and visit with us again soon, man.
Let me know when. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Awesome. Take care, buddy. Eric from the Berg Blog. That was pretty cool.
fantastic.
A lot of people don't want him to go. So, hit him up, see if you can get some pictures. 24-hour stream. I'd die on that one. Off to bed. I see. Off to bed. We got a little bit more to do. Ethan, do you have a little bit more time? You got to go?
How long are you thinking?
I got another 5 minutes just to get through some stuff.
All right, that's it.
Just going to show off some of the belts that we've got real quick that you guys out there have mentioned that you got for sale. So let's check out. Let's take the crowd on over to the DDK bar. And first up, we got Stephen Hammer's got epic quality titles. United States Championship title here for $280, man. Shipped to your door from a great guy, Stephen Hammer. That is a pretty cool belt. You want to check that one out from him. We also got up here from Mark Maggard, host of Band of the Glow podcast, Unique Spirit. Georgia TV on American leather.
Mark's leather.
Yep. $275 shipped to your door. Maybe these guys will give you, $20 off tonight, whatever. Hit him up now. Get him to the Mark Maggard, $275. He also has, from Great Custom Belts, a CNC belt, Hogan 86, 300 shipped. I believe that's on their leather, not his. 300 shipped. Great Custom Belts. He has that one available as well. We also, Eric, our boy that was just in here, he's got one for sale. A 5.5 millimeter zinc. Ooh. Made by Jamal Ahmed of JS Belts, 350. Maybe he could comment in the comments if that's shipped. I believe that is shipped. Hit him up for that one if you want to see and get that belt there. I think we had one more of somebody that they wanted me to share. Where did it go? There it is. It's right there. Over Patrick Allen has a shop classic IC. This is nice on Paul Martin leather.
Solid Paul Martin.
Oh yeah!
Beautiful leather. $500 shipped. Maybe you can hit him up for tonight only to get maybe a little bit more of a discount. Who knows? Can't hurt to ask.
DDK 10%.
Yeah, do it. Patrick Allen. Shop on Paul Martin leather. His is expensive re-leathers, by the way, if you don't know. So that's near about the whole price of that belt. 500 shipped. Patrick Allen. If you need to know who these people are, you can hit me up, or you can pause on there, and there it is, and look for their Facebook page right there that you got there. But Ethan, I appreciate it, buddy. Anything else that you got for us?
No, I going solid. Just slow motion, bro. That's all we do.
Yeah, next week we'll get into the first time a Velcro appeared on a belt and then ring. We got some pictures. We'll get into that next week. We got that topic.
We got a little playoffs too.
Yep. We've got a movie that we got to talk about. We'll talk about a little playoffs next week. Also got a movie that a Rock and Roll Express Cup appeared in way back in the 80s. It was one of the Jim Crockett, and I found it in a movie. I'll show that video as well too. We'll have some cool stuff next week. We have no guests next week. It'll be an all fun show. Some guests popping up. We'll also have the DDK Open live next week too. So check us out for that. Ethan, big love. Take care. I'll see you a little later.
Be good, kids. Be good.
Big E.
Have your pet spayed and neutered.
Yep, have your pet spayed and neutered. See you, buddy. And for you guys out there, I wanted to give just the platform to me just for a little bit to talk to you about a couple things. There you go, 3/5 shipped on that for that Belk. Hey man, thank you. We appreciate it. Come back soon, man. We appreciated you on there. Yeah, Lions. I'm pulling for them. My picks are still alive. I had the Lions and the Ravens in the Super Bowl earlier on the pick when we had the pick. But as you guys know, we hit 1,000 subs just the other day, and it was awesome to see that, the 1,000 subs. You guys are just awesomely, just unbelievable. I can't believe, the support that you guys have given to this program over the last 6 months. You've poured your hours into this, your time into this. We started this 6 months ago to try to have a fun hobby, a fun podcast. A podcast for you, about this belt hobby, to try to protect you, let things know that are going on, have fun, to enjoy it, to be a humble place to share your stuff, share your stories, share your memories, to share your love of a sport, an event, whatever you want to call it, wrestling that brought us all together as young kids and still holds us together today. These belts bring us so many memories, so much joy. And I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to this channel and being a part of it each Tuesday night. You guys matter to me. This show will always be for you, about you, and about the hobby. And I'm so thankful that you join me each Tuesday night, whether it's live or the many of you across the world that have messaged me and said, I love the show. Thanks for getting me through my work day. Thanks for getting me through this. Thanks for getting me out of this for a little while. Get me out of the world. We try to come on here for at least 2 hours. Sometimes we get a little more, sometimes a little less. And we do the fun things that we do here. And I'm hoping that it brings a smile to your day, brings back the memories that these belts bring us when we hold them, when we touch them. The people and the memories of who we watched with that are long gone, from the wrestlers to our families that we watched with. I hope that those belts do what they do for me and bring in all those memories to where they're right there, to where you feel like you're holding that belt and you can talk to your father or mother or grandparent that you were watching wrestling with. And this podcast is all about that and all about the belt hobby. And I hope our giveaways that we'll have again for the 1,000 and that we just had for the 500, that it gives back to you, because you've given me so much with the 1,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. And it means so much to me. Whether I go tomorrow, next month, or whenever, I thank you so much for coming in each Tuesday night or repeating and coming to this channel and watching this program. I love each and every one of you, and I'm thankful that you guys come in and have given me a reason to get on here and keep my brain working, to keep me going, and it just means an absolute lot that you guys do that for me each and every week. And I'm already excited about next week for you guys to come back and to join the show again and make sure that you comment each and every week because you're a part of the show. So make sure, come right back here next week. We've got a lot to talk about. We'll have a lot of fun. Until then, you stay kind, stay humble, and we'll see you next week right here on Double Dropkick.